Good morning. Well, good morning. Welcome to Vaping Dawn to Dusk. It's starting. It says we're live. Guys, this is Vaping Dawn to Dusk. Today we had some technical problems and our guest didn't show up in time, and so today we're just going to have a duo show with me and Luke. Let me just get my window up. Hi, everybody. This is the show where we just get vaping stories, relax in the morning on Saturdays, Friday today, and hang out. We're traveling. Luke's going on a trip, and so we're a day early. How are you, Luke?
Yes, not bad at all. Yeah, I will be travelling at like 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, going up to see Aid again, which it's been too long, so looking forward to that.
That's fun. He's been super busy lately, and even I haven't heard from him too much. That's awesome. I'm jealous
So
of you
that's
guys.
gonna be, we're up there for like 4 days, I think it is. So that's
4 days. That is cool. Let's say hi to everybody in chat. Everybody in chat, thank you for being so patient. We're actually less late than we usually are today, which is cool. And who's in there? I know that Flavor Hunter is in there. B-Man Vapes. I see WTF Vapors at Skeletor. He's great. And
cool.
yep.
Vaping for beginners, Hollow Angel,
Yep.
Vaping Coffee.
Matt Jenkins obviously is in there as well.
Yeah, Billy Marks.
Alex Schultheis. Yeah. Lee
Quite a
Heller.
few.
I don't know Lee Heller,
Yeah.
but you're in there. Billy Marks, that's awesome. He said, I usually look at something before I put it in my mouth. Hey, man, me too. We usually look at it real carefully.
Yeah,
Luke is
someone
very
said
quiet audio.
Yeah.
So my scheme is working. How's that? It's probably better now. My scheme is
Yeah,
working.
hopefully.
So our guest, we didn't get our guest to show up today. It might have just been miscommunication because we're doing it Friday and Saturday. No big deal. He and I are just going to do this, and we'll just think of something to talk about because we love you guys, and this show is cool, and stuff happens anyway. So
Yep.
Luke, I know for sure, has something to tell everybody about a pet peeve of his.
Yeah, lovely. So today on Facebook, I got linked in a story that's just come out, which came out yesterday in the Sun, that somebody had somebody's e-cigarette battery had exploded in their pocket, and they've burnt like, I think it's like third-degree burns. They've got all on the top of their leg.
Yikes.
And he's obviously turned around and he's trying to blame vaping and trying to blame the batteries. But what actually, going by what he's put in the story that he said, he had his Smock X Cube 2 in his pocket plus 2 spare batteries, not in a box. They're just, I don't know if he had keys or money in his pocket as well, but he had two spare batteries and the mod in his pocket at the
So
same time.
he had a mod and 2 batteries just sitting in his pocket. I'm demonstrating here, just like this, and keys and change or whatever. And what happened, Luke? I just can't guess what happened.
Yeah, he said to start with, he didn't even feel it getting hot. He just said the first thing that happened was there was like a firework going off, and then his leg obviously started burning.
Let me ask you a question. When he was in the hospital, did they give him electrolytes?
I don't know. They didn't say on the story.
You know what? Rip needs to follow this. Somebody in chat was asking, did they give him electrolytes? That's very important, Rip says.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So that's incredibly irritating. It's so lame to blame vaping for this. And
Yep.
didn't this just happen in England recently where a young guy had a fault in his pocket with a battery like this? And what did he come out and
Yeah.
say? He came out and said it was my fault. Let me tell you about vaping and what I did wrong.
Yeah.
Brave and
There's
smart
just-
kid.
There's too many people, because you know what happened. The media, they probably, he probably got blooming paid to say that it was vaping's fault, even though it's not, because obviously they want anything that they can use to try and make it look bad.
Yeah, and in fact, the truth is, I'm not even sure that they, in their hearts, want it to look bad. What they want is for it to look sensational. And for someone to come out and say, "Oh yeah, I made a mistake. It was a problem." That's no more exciting than you tripped and fell. So the press is very likely to say, "Tell us about it. What happened? Is this dangerous?" You know, like they could have goaded him on to get him to say the most sensational bullshit possible.
Yeah.
Just fucking bullshit, in my opinion. I don't love that. Electrolytes. Yeah, so guys, remember, this is just such a foregone conclusion. Do not ever carry a battery that is not in a case. If you don't have one of these cases, go to your local vape shop and either ask them, tell them, I'm carrying my batteries unsafely. Can you spare an extra 2-pack battery case? And if they say no, go to a different vape shop. if you have to, buy one. They're only a few bucks, but it's so important that you carry these things because this will save your life or your leg or vaping.
And like most people know, I don't carry even a mod on its own. I don't carry it in my pocket. I just, for safety reasons, I just don't do it. Yes, I could probably put this in my pocket and it would be fine, but
Well, it would be fine if you did what? If you locked it. Like
yeah,
and you don't have to do that. You don't have to carry it in your pocket. But we always joke about this here at Orbital Vaping Headquarters because Luke never carries anything in his pocket, and I do all the time. And we joke about it. But the truth is that we both never put an unregulated mod in our pocket, and we both never put a mod in our pocket that isn't locked. Luke never puts a mod in his pocket at all. I lock them when I put them in my pocket because I'm not stupid. And you only have to have a sense of propriety one time and have it you hear it fire in your pocket for you to go, no, 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 I'm never doing that again. Never doing that again. And you should be scared. If you're not scared of the consequences of these things we're talking about, then you really need to take a step back on your vaping and take a look because we're scared. Are you scared, Luke?
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
me too. I'm scared of my batteries fucking up. I'm not scared of not understanding them. I'm scared of accidents, and we take steps to not do that. Yeah, see, this guy got 4 battery cases when he bought batteries. Yeah, these are throwaways. Like, everyone will give you a battery case. Don't not get a battery case. Even if it's one battery, wrap it in a paper towel in a baggie or something.
Yeah, a lot of people now that sell batteries, they usually do sell them in cases already.
Mhm.
I know
Virtually
some people
nobody.
still don't, but
Yeah, virtually
are
nobody
quite a
sends
lot
them
of-
without cases these days. Yeah.
yeah, there are still shops that just sell them in like the little cardboard boxes, but they do. There is a lot of people now that sell them already in the cases.
That's true. Like Illumin.com sells them all in the cardboard and stuff, and that's because all they sell is batteries and stuff. Like even my 26 650s came in a case, which
Yeah, Vaping Coffee just said too busy dripping to put pocket.
Yeah.
Put pocket. Mod in pocket. I think
Yeah.
you're supposed to have said, but yeah.
When we first met, we were totally laughing about that. I was like, I was like talking to Luke. I'm like, I did this, put it in my pocket. Luke's like, in your pocket? Why the hell would you ever put a mod in your pocket? And all Luke carried at that time was his tug with the nipple. And so, like, at that time, all he had was one of these. He was like, hell no. And his habit now is he never does it, even with the WizMag or the DNA or whatever, until we laugh and laugh. But I, one time, had this in my pocket, and I was like, hell no. And so regulated mods get locked. These. And also, here's another thing. Do not ever build on a mech mod with batteries in it. No matter what you think. No, I was building just recently, and somebody was building on a mech mod with batteries in it. And I was like, what are you doing? And I took it away from him, took the batteries out, and I'm like, don't ever build on a mod that has batteries in it. It's a mech. And he's like, oh, I wasn't going to press the button. And I said, well, of course you don't think you're going to press the button. I never thought I was going to press the button. No one thinks they're going to. I mean, that's the definition of an accident.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Well, I do sometimes build on my able, but then obviously I don't leave it unlocked. It can't fire whatsoever when it's locked.
That's right. You can lock them, and like it's fine on regulated mods because you can lock them. But like a regular mech, and you're right, all mechs aren't the same, so you lock that. I guess what I really mean is take steps to lock it. The mech that I was talking about had no lock. It was just a button.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've manhandled my mod and like touched it and been like, oh shit.
You shouldn't really. Well, I guess on a regulated mod you can build, but technically you should be building on like an ohm meter or something, so you can check your resistance before you fire it anyway.
Yep. Especially on a mech because you can't be 100% sure. You really need to know what
Yeah.
that is. It's so funny. The guys in the chat are saying, yeah, especially not a noisy cricket. Ha ha. Coil finger imprint. Like, yeah, totally. That stuff
Yeah.
happens. And some people do and don't put stuff in. Everyone has a different preference about putting mods in their pocket, but I do it with a lock, and Luke does it with never. So that's his safety thing. And both of those things are fine. It's just a matter of being cognizant. And the fellow that I was talking about who did the build was not some evil idiot. The guy was not stupid. He just wasn't thinking at that minute. He was like, oh yeah, oops.
Yeah. Maybe you should talk a little bit about what you did yesterday, Juicy.
I had the greatest time. I had an Instagram friend come over and we did crazy coil builds. His name's Kyle McGlasson, KYLEMCGLASSON, and he's a really cool guy. Met him on the street. He's like Vapor, and he had a triple box series box from SMY, that old triple series box. Did you actually see it when he was over, Luke, on Skype?
Yeah.
It's like humongous and has 3 batteries and it has no retainer and no sled or anything. Like if you drop it, all the batteries come out and it vents, like shit like that. But it's a really, really cool box, and he's had it for a long time. And he made me these insane coils. Look at this vertical coil here in my Fody. It looks filthy, but he did the wicking so it looks like an old man, and it looks like a puppy dog now. But he put a vertical coil in this thing, and oh my god! And I love this kid. He runs around. He's such a cool guy. He runs around and builds coils and stuff for people on order. They call him up, and he comes to their house and like sets them up, and they pay him a few bucks, and he goes like a small business. What a cool thing! Just sells coal, runs around and he builds all these crazy things. And what I like about him is that his spirit is adventurous. Like he can build a regular Clapton if you want, but he also has all these crazy like popcorn Clapton. Like his favorite thing is all the weird stuff for flavor and experiments, and it's really fun. So he came
I
over and
believe it was the God Mod by SMY? Is it SMY that make it?
it wasn't 180. It was it was SMY, but it was triple, not double. Isn't the God Mod the double 18650, or is that the triple? Alex might remember better than I do.
Yeah, it's only James had put it on there, the God Mod.
Maybe so.
I'm not sure. It
I
could have
didn't.
been. I think that might have been what he said it was.
Yeah,
But
yeah. And I didn't ask him like an idiot. Uh, no, it's not the God Mod, but it's close to that. The God Mod has the weird pattern on it. It's older than that, believe it or not, if that's
yeah,
possible. But it is 3 batteries. It might, you know what? It's probably a version of that with a different case. It's slightly older or something. But yeah, it was really cool. And
no, they're saying the God Mod is triple.
yeah, then it's probably a version of that. But I looked at the case of the God Mod and it doesn't look like his, so it's a little bit different. I'm
Yeah.
being asked by Sean Tapter for live.
I
We're
don't
live.
see. Yeah, I know it says it's supposed to do 260 watts. Does
Yeah,
it? Did you test it, Juicy, or?
I did not test it, but I can tell you that it uses PWM and it definitely pumps out 3 batteries worth of stuff. I'm not exactly sure what the number is, but it kept up
Yeah.
with my series box and my DNA 200 pretty goddamn well. Although it made an incredible noise when you press the button. It sounded like my Decimus. It went bwah, bwah, which is pretty funny. Pretty funny. Sorry, I'm just being asked on Facebook if we're live today, and you know what? We are. We made it. And you know what? I want to thank
Oh,
everybody in chat. Have we done that? Have we said thank you? We love you. Thank you for coming. We have a show every week, and we've never missed a week. And this is episode 20, and it's kind of fun that we have a show to ourselves today because it's a special day. We've been doing this for 20 weeks. We have never missed a weekend, and
yeah.
plenty of weekends have been horrible, but we've never missed one.
I think there's a good question for you there, Juicy. I know you love your RTAs. What is a
hmm
good first RTA? Looking for flavour over cloud production.
I mean, your budget is really a huge deal. I mean, James is asking the right question. Do you want a restricted airflow? I mean, if you want a pure flavor RTA and money is no object and you don't mind a restricted airflow, the answer has got to be the Typhoon GT2 or the K-Fun or something like that.
Not the Fody.
Well, the truth is, after you move up from here, if you don't want one of these type of RTAs, then yeah, get a Fody. And I, I'm not just trying to plug H cigar, but the truth is, I really, really, really like this, and it holds 3.5 mils of juice, and it's really easy to build on. And once you get used to it, it's okay. It has a few quirks where you can't screw it a certain way, and you have to watch out for the O-rings, and you can't ever leave it on its side. Otherwise, though, I use this thing every single day since I bought it.
Yeah, someone else. Taff said the Goblin,
Yeah.
which I've actually got the version 1 Goblin Mini, which I'm actually going to be giving away.
You're giving that to me?
If you want it, Juicy. I don't know. I'm supposed to do a review on it, but I bought it and it's not the way I vape, so I can't really give
Yeah.
a good opinion on it. It's okay, the flavour's fine, but it's just not the way that I that I vape. So I'm probably not going to review it. I was just going to give it away.
Yeah. I've always wanted one of those things. Yeah, this points towards the answer, and that is that right now for RTAs, There are so many choices. It's so many good choices. And a lot of it has to do with just your style. Luke is a full air mech guy who everything he does, he wants full airflow on it. And even your crown you crank open when you go tank.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so Luke's got to have the full airflow all the time. Like I like vaping like that, but if you leave me alone, I vape at kind of a 60 watt Clapton medium restricted airflow, and then I keep a huge cloud build sitting around. So that's why all I'm really underscoring here is that it's so subjective. So my personal taste is I love the Fody, and I love the Haze tank. I like these tanks that have the tank on the bottom, and Evogo makes a velocity version of this, and have the deck on top because they have good flavor. And if you're just looking for something inexpensive to get into to learn to build that's pretty decent, honestly, the Sub Tank Mini, the top tank, is okay. But I wouldn't really get that. I would go for the Griffin or something. But the Griffin is going to be a very big airflow tank. And so you just have to know that. Going to go through a lot of juice. It's going to have not quite as good flavor as the Fody or something, but you're going to get a lot of vapor out of it. Well, if you're a flavor chaser, then you're going to want to go with something like the Fody or something like that, because they aren't like big. You're not going to brag to everybody about it, but when you vape it, you're going to go, this is good. I mean, to me, it's my secret pleasure. I don't care what anyone thinks. I love this atomizer. Oh yeah, and James loves the Billow V2, and his only con is that he thinks the deck is a little bit small, but he's always talking about that. And let me tell you, James and I vape similarly with a slightly restricted airflow. So if he's telling you the Villa V2 is something appropriate, then it's probably something to look at. He's told me that too, and I want to try it. If all mine crapped out on me, I'd buy the Griffin again. That's what Vape and Coffee says. If there was a fire in my house and all of my atomizers burnt up tomorrow, I would buy the Crown first.
Possibly not.
Yeah.
I think for me, it'd probably have to be the 13 Heavens.
Yeah. Well, I meant for tanks. For RDAs, if we're talking about just replacing, you'd replace your 13 Heavens first. I mean, if I could buy new stuff, I would buy a TFV4 and a Griffin. But today, I would still buy the Crown and some Joytech device, and then, I'd probably get a 13 Heavens too, or just any RDA. I'm not as picky as you are, but I need something big.
Yeah. So let's put this question out. Everybody in the chat as well, if you want to answer this. So it has to be something that you have in your house, so something you own. What would, if there was a fire and you could only pick up one mod and one RDA or a tank, but you can only pick one, what would you pick?
Like all your mods are sitting by the door, and there's a fire, and you can run by, and you've got your keys and your dog and your wife and your family and your key and whatever, and all your mods are right there. What do you grab? Is that what you're saying? That's funny as fuck.
You can only pick one mod and one tank or RDA.
Okay, well, that is super easy. I take my DNA with the extra battery, no question, because it's the only mod I have that fires every fucking thing, even though it's inferior to the Joytech software. It is inferior, in my opinion. I would still get my DNA 200 because it fires everything. And if I could only grab one, man, you're really putting it to me here, because and making me pick one thing for a fire, like, that's not easy. I would probably grab... Let me just look at them, if you don't mind. Well, you can look at the audience. I need to stare at them for a second. This is not easy.
Taff said the AV Able mod father combo, which it's a tough one for me. It'd be between the Able and the RX for a mod. It's tough.
Because the RX would be my second choice because of, and Cuboid is my third choice. But you didn't say third choice. You said, what's your first choice? I'm like, oh my god. I think I would have to, honestly, I would have to either grab my Crown or the Fody, because they're the ones I use the most. And the Crown is probably the one I would be most practical, because you can just go to the store and get a coil and buy new stuff tomorrow. But what am I saying? I could rebuild this. So I would either take the Fody or the Crown. I honestly can't say which. If the Crown were destroyed, I would probably replace it, but I'd probably also buy a TFE4 just to try it out. Everyone else, Yeah. So what does everybody else say? Noisy Cricket or the Cuboid for Brian. So yeah. No, vaping for beginners. He loves his Noisy Cricket. Holy crap, he loves his Noisy Cricket. Who doesn't?
Yeah. It's DNA 200 with the Buddha.
Oh, and that's another one. The
Uh,
Buddha. Buddha's another great RDA. We were going to talk about the Buddha with Lillian Miles today because she's from Beyond Vape, but can't.
the Sig 150 with a Griffin,
Yep, not a bad combo.
Cuboid and Velocity.
Oh, James went all crazy. Goblin Mini, Evic VTC Mini, and a pack of HT2s and some Milk too by Tila's Remix. He's like, I'm grabbing a whole pack with juice and
Okay,
everything.
so James is still in the house burning down. That's good.
Yeah,
Just sit there picking out your stuff out your drawer while your house is burning down.
it's those HT2s, dude. You're gonna have to grab those.
Time.
Yeah, you're gonna have to grab
Just
the E-Fests.
Just let's hope you're not like on the top floor and you got to jump out of a window.
That's awesome.
Okay. Somebody said Nuve mod and the phenotype.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. So it's good for everyone to know what your favorite stuff is, because one of these days you may have to sell everything. Like Luke is doing a clearance sale now, so he can buy an ultrasonic cleaner, which is very smart. And
Yeah.
yeah, I should do the same. I should sell some guitars or something.
Yeah.
IPV 3LI and my crown. That's a great combo.
Yeah.
B-Man, are you waiting for a noisy cricket in the mail? B-Man says I'm waiting for mine in the mail, and I'm wondering if he means his noisy cricket. And then James says, I will burn to death. It's fine. I will burn before it does. Yeah, totally. Sean Taft loves his D2. That's cool. It's interesting. I've been playing with my D3, and I just have a question for Sean. Sean, have you noticed that the paint on your D2, what is it like? Because what I've noticed on my D3 is that the paint is absolutely terrible. It chips if I look at it wrong. All of these chips are from it falling over on my desk. I'm not kidding. And I did a little Instagram of this the other day, and this thing, I would have to point out the chips to you. Like, if I handed this to you, I would say, look, there's 4 chips on this, and you would say, no, they're not, it's brand new. And I would go here, 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 and here, and you go, oh, you're right, there is a little nick there. But this thing is under, I've even dropped this on wood, and it hasn't chipped, so I'm curious. Owen's never been pregnant either, neither have I. Luke, have you been pregnant?
No. I know what it's like trying to get to the hospital though.
Yeah. Yeah. Luke's done that a few times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mmm. Oh my God, that's good. It's funny. I handed this to my buddy Kyle yesterday when he was over because he hadn't tried the crown on temperature control, and I gave it to him. I'm like, here, try this, and he went and had that look on his face. He was like, oh my God, is that what people are talking about? Like, that's what they mean? That's so good. And it's the magic combo of the quarter coils and TC on
I
stainless
guess that's
steel.
also just going by what Lee just said, maybe another thing that we could add to that question. What
A
bottle
big,
of juice what bottle of juice would you pick up?
yeah, that's good. Also, bye, James. James has to take off, so everyone say goodbye to him. Um,
So
oh, and
what one bottle, what would you pick up, Juicy?
oh, one bottle. That's easy. I would pick up the 400 ml bottle of my resting bitch face.
Just happens to have 400 mils made up.
Yeah, this is in case there's a fire. If there's a
Yeah.
fire, I'm ready. I have 400 mils of my juice. I actually keep a 32, but I probably would grab my. Honestly, the truth is, I'm not that provincial about e-liquid. I don't have any sentimental attachment to them because you can buy them all mail order, so they could all burn up. I could just take some VG and some nicotine, for that matter. Like, the juice doesn't matter too much. Now, if I were on a desert island and we knew that we could never get any more, like if you said, Eli, your boat is on fire. Right? This is our new scenario. Your boat is on fire and all your mods are on it and you have to abandon ship and you're going to a desert island. What do you take? Now that's a scary question. Um, yeah, people that buy a Crown or a TFE4 don't need another tank. Honestly, that's how it is. If you get a TFE4, you don't need a Griffin. The Crown, the one thing you're missing is an RTA that's any good. Because obviously the Crown, the
Yeah.
RBA is garbage. It's. I'll tell you guys what it's like. It's just like the Sub-Tank Mini RTA or RBA section, and it's very small, and you just can't do that much with it. You can put like a little vertical Clapton in there if you're lucky, and it's okay. But the
Yeah.
TFE4 smokes it.
It's quite strange what UWOW have actually done, because obviously everybody raved about the Crown and obviously it is an awesome tank, but the RBA was rubbish, and then
Yeah.
they brought the new tank out and people saying the tank's rubbish but the RBA is really good. So I don't know what they were doing there. Maybe they should have just made a better RBA for the Crown, but
Yeah, I know that's true. In the Rafal tank, I have no interest in the Rafal tank to be quite honest because um, I mean I have academic interest in it. Like I would like to have one and try it and work it out. But the truth is I don't feel any need for it whatsoever because the Crown satisfies me 100%. And for rebuilding the Fody and other tanks I've got really do it. Like I don't need an RBA for the Crown. I take the Crown for what it is, which is a great zero leaking. Don't ask Luke about this. Zero leaking tank because Luke's leaks. Um, but for rebuilding, I just use the Fody because there's something. This is just me being lazy, so don't take this as advice or anything. But when I'm building and I have to like open up all these tanks and rebuild them on these little decks, I get annoyed, and then I pop out my Fody and it's got a full size deck on it with 2 millimeter holes, and I'm done. So that's kind of my lazy attitude. I'm like, huh.
Yes.
But that's not a judgment about the quality of the tanks. We're confused about the Rafal tank because Luke and I both like the Crown, and we don't. It looks to me like they just came out with another tank because they could never make a good RBA for the Crown.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with. I don't know why the RBA isn't good. Because it's not much different to like many other RBA sections, like the sub-tank mini RBA sections, not very similar, and that's good, but I just don't know what it is with the Crown one that just doesn't work very well.
It's more similar than the TFE4 is to the sub-tank mini. I mean, I've got the RBA for the Crown, and when I picked it up and used it, I just felt like I was using a sub-tank mini the whole time. It felt almost the same.
Yeah, I'm just not sure why it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's maybe the wicking or something. It's a good question. Because the Griffin uses a different kind of wicking with the 4 channels and those little grooves, and you put the top on. And the Subtank Mini has a wall, and so does the Crown, has a wall with a little hole that you put the wicking through. And it could be as simple as that not working as well.
Yeah, I know some people have said they've enjoyed the RBA and they have got it working, but they still prefer the stock coils for the Crown.
Me too, no question.
So
the stock coils for the Crown. Yeah, they just couldn't get the Crown RBA right. And the Rafal, if I got one and worked it out, I would try it. But the truth is, I'm a big Ewell fan, but I would have to really, the Rafal, it would have to be amazing. And the stock coils, just like Luke said, no one is telling me that they're better than the Crown.
Yeah, the one, I'd probably, I don't think I would buy the Rafale, just because I thought they were going to do something different, and all they've really done is just brought out another tank.
Yep.
It's not. I thought they were going to maybe like bring out an RTA or
like the Griffin or something.
RDA.
Yeah, like the Billow or the Griffin or the Bellas, or everyone is doing that.
I thought they were going to bring out something different, not just another sub-ohm tank with a different RBA section.
Yeah, and the guys in chat are laughing, making jokes about tasting your e-liquid, and April brought this up, and that's not weird at all. I taste every single e-liquid I get with my fingers on my tongue. That's not weird at all. Yeah, and I remember one time I was in a store, and we had a big laugh because somebody said, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, I'm just tasting this liquid." And they're like, "Oh my God, can you do that?" And I was like, "Every time you vape, you like inhale 3 milliliters of that or whatever. Like, of course you can taste it. It goes on your tongue all day."
just look. It's an easy dripper.
Yeah, there's no.
There's juice.
Yeah, you've been doing that ever since you started vaping. You just didn't do it like that. You did it like this.
It tastes good.
And you can be
Especially
certain.
for DIY, it's a good way of tasting your juice. Just put a little bit on your finger and just lick it.
That's right. It's a very good way, and it's also just a quick barometer. When I get juice in and I taste it and it's bad, and it tastes funny, I'm like, It's another thing I think about when I'm evaluating juices, because really, really great liquids, coincidentally, usually taste good.
Yeah.
Usually, not always.
Most people know that your tongue is obviously one of the most sensitive things for taste. So the easiest thing to do is just lick it.
Yeah. Lee Heller says that he doesn't like the vape bands, but he's going with his aromomizer. Here, I'll vape my aromomizer. Oh, and I want to. Who was it that sent me the message? It was Badass Vapor. I'm vaping this in your honor today. My Green Lush with my stainless steel temperature controls on it. By the way, I built these stainless steel temperature control coils, and they're 15 wraps. Everybody give me a gold star because I fit 15 wraps in my Lush, 23 gauge. And it works under temperature control. Amazing. So anyway, I'm vaping this because James sent him a prize pack, and James, who just had to leave chat. He was here a second ago, but he has to go to work. Anyway, he Badass Vapor won some coils from James on the show, and James sent him a Lush with the coils in it and everything already, and it was freaking beautiful. Like, thank you, James. That was really nice. And apparently, I hope he likes it. I'm sitting here vaping on my Lush, same color, on my Wismac, just in your honor, Badass Vapor. And we love Badass Vapor. He's such a nice guy. He helps the show all the time, just out of the goodness of his heart. He retweets us and stuff, and so he's a super nice guy. He doesn't have to do that, and we really appreciate it. Temperature control. It's awesome. You just can't believe this works, or I can't believe it works. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandy was just asking about the Milkman clone. Yes, it is awesome. Me, Juicy, Aid, we all make the Milkman clone.
Yep. The Milkman clone is where I started for Resting Bitch Face, and I changed it, and so it's a little bit different, but it's not so different that you wouldn't go, yum.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, and I flatter myself that it's better, but that may not be true. But yeah, we fucking love that recipe, and we were just joking yesterday about how glad we were someone leaked it.
Yeah, Aid's got, I think it's like 4, maybe 500 mils at the moment.
Yeah, that guy, totally. And this is the one I'm going to mail out. And then I've got another one I'm making too. And yesterday we discovered that I have 0 of one of the most important ingredients too. So I'm so glad I found out. My friend came over and we were doing crazy coil builds. And by the way, I'm going to do videos with him and put them on Vaping or wherever. And we're going to build weird coils. It'll be fun. But he came over and I was going to make him some just to, as a gift for friendship. And I was sitting there making it. I'm like, I'm missing this ingredient. So anyway, I had to make him something else. I was like, holy shit. And what's cool is that guy, it's not cool, it's just interesting. That fella, he vapes like 12 or 18 on an RDA. Yeah.
Yeah, 18 I think he said.
I was like, whoa. And he was talking about maybe stepping it down. But that's not a bad thing. Remember that your nicotine...
I just couldn't drip that.
No, me either.
Drip 18.
Me either. Just face would just melt. Like, I would just start watering out of every hole. But, he only quit smoking 10 months ago, and it's an important point to make, because if you are having trouble or whatever, don't ever feel like you need to stick to a nicotine level someone else tells you. You need to match your nicotine to your cravings. And so he's doing that, and of course you're free to lower your nic all you want. You don't have to do...
Yeah. I did drip quite high. I dripped, because obviously I got into dripping
by
quite
April.
early. I did start dripping at like 12 milligrams, but it didn't take very long to get that down. Throat hit on 12 is...
It's insane.
Yeah.
Alex Solthai says that he's using his temperature control Amigo coils in his super tank, and they're terrible. The super tank came up yesterday, didn't it, Luke? I didn't know anything about that, right? Didn't I look it up?
Yeah, I can't think what the super tank is.
Yeah.
Who's it made by, Alex?
Oh, I kicked my camera.
I've heard of the name, but I can't think.
Yeah, I looked it up yesterday and I forgot.
And saying that some people might not know because it's not been advertised a lot, and I've not even seen a review for it yet. But Flawless have actually brought out a tank called the Tug Tank, which I am waiting to get. I want it so bad.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that just briefly the other day, and I completely forgot about that. I
love tugboats.
I do too. I want you to have one too. I want me to have one.
And they're actually using, like everyone at the moment's going crazy on the ceramic coils. Actually uses the ceramic coil.
Yeah, I'm very interested. And should we tell everybody our announcement, or do we want to wait about what we're doing? I forgot.
On
Project G. Project what we did last night to set up for our project.
No.
Okay.
We'll keep that a secret for a little while.
That's fine. Totally fine. I love surprises. Luke and I, this guy, are working on something cool. And we have a new thing we're going to do. And it's not a new show or anything. We're going to do it here and on our channels. But we're just going to do, we have a little thing going that we're going to do. It's going to be kind of special. Can't wait to include you guys. Of course, you're going to hear about it. Also, like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Polish Vapes UK's YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is Polish Vapes UK 2014. And that's the year we made the channel. My channel here is obviously JuicyJones HQ. And make sure you like and subscribe. And do us a favor if you like the shows and share them on your social networking, because that actually works. We We didn't know that that actually works, except that you guys started sharing these things on your social networks, and then we started getting more viewers. Isn't that how that works? So, and some of you are some of the new viewers that saw those social posts, so we appreciate
Some
it.
somebody has a tugboat tank. That's not fair.
Wait, he said I love mine. You can't say I love mine.
That's not fair.
Yeah, you should say I love yours. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I think they're like I can get one from the UK, but they want like I think it's like 40 pound or maybe a little bit more.
Oh,
It's just I'm
Mitchell.
waiting to try and get it from somewhere else.
Yeah, and Mitchell Rivera is saying Matt Jenkins was talking about picking up the dolphin tank today, and Mitchell Rivera is saying just pick up the freaking tug tank, see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in that, and I forgot that you mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, and it just slipped my mind. Like, because you kept on also talking about the Arctic V8, right?
Brass able. I'm not sure what you mean, Taff, but yes, I actually do want an authentic sleeve, but haven't got the money to get an authentic sleeve.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
baby. It's gonna happen. Yeah, and eventually I'm gonna pick up a mech mod too. That's fun. Mine's crappy. Here, I'm gonna put my hoodie up. Am I cool? I look like the Kwisatz Zatarok.
Yeah,
hello.
Dennis said $45, which is probably about what it is over here. Which
Yeah.
is one thing that annoys me about UK vendors. They pay less for it because obviously the exchange rate because they import it from America, but then they sell it for the same price as it is in dollars and pounds. So it's like, yeah, maybe not.
Irritating.
Yeah, or they even put it up a little bit, so they're making an extreme profit out of it.
Oh, and also let me tell you, American, oh, and actually all people about mail order. When you order something from England, for example, or Europe, and you live in the U.S., you are entitled not to pay the tax. So
Yeah.
you have to remember that you do not owe VAT if you live in the U.S. And if you call them or email them and say, "What is my price without the VAT?" and they say, "No, the price is the same," buy it from someone else. They're stealing your money because they don't pay the government that money. They keep it. So the government has a bill for the tax, and people whose addresses and credit cards and stuff live out of the country, they don't have to pay tax on that, and they don't. And so if they don't lower the price for you, don't buy it from them. Like if you buy a guitar from Andertons, they subtract the fucking VAT because it's
Yeah.
not your tax. And like if you walked into England, like if I landed at Luke's doorstep and he and I went to the vape store, if I produce my American ID, I get a refund for the tax. They either take it out right there or I get it back at the customs office in a voucher when I leave. But you remember, keep your receipts and never pay tax in Europe on a website because you don't owe it. And if they want to charge it to you, they're robbing you. And they're lazy.
Yeah. Vaping for beginners. This came from freefvape.com. I'm sorry, but I'm having pain in my back at the moment, and I don't know why.
I'm sorry.
This
That came
comes
from 3F?
Yeah, 3F Vape. If you're going to get one of these, do get it from 3F Vape, because if you go on their website and also look at FastTech's website, FastTech do not do it with the AV logos. Okay, you don't have to have the logos, but I like the look of it with the logos. It looks so much better.
That's cool. Also, Dennis Reimer is saying the dolphin and the tugboat are exactly the same. And so Matt was saying how, not Matt, but Mitchell was saying how it's the same but better. So we need to find out, like if it's the same but better, they
Yeah.
improved it or what. Like they probably easily could have made some changes to it. We don't know, but I'm very curious now that we have some.
Yeah, I definitely need that tugboat tank.
Yeah, you do.
Just because it's tugboat, and I love all my tugboat RDAs.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're really great.
Interested in trying ceramic coils because I've not tried any ceramic coils yet either.
That's killer. I want to say one thing. I do too, man. And we've seen 3 tanks now that have them, and I'm very interested.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody is saying they need a glazed donut, and I'm going to do a shameless policeman. Sure, Gem 2 is absolutely fantastic. It's GEMJOOS.com. And this stuff is absolutely fantastic. That's what's in here. No, I'm sorry. This is actually Gem, which is his other flavor, which is the chocolate donut. This is Gem 2, which is absolutely insanely good. So give it a shot. And we all want to try Policeman. Luke and I haven't tried that yet.
No.
So.
I've not tried My Man either yet.
Yeah. Dennis says he's got both tanks and they're pretty similar, so that's cool. That's good to know. I definitely want to try them out. You know how we
Yeah.
are here in Orbital Vaping headquarters. At Orbital Vaping headquarters, we believe everything until we have it in our hands.
There was another question which I think's gone, but what I think it was, what vape purchase did you regret after buying it?
Easy. Easy. That. The Decimus. Easy. Easy.
Shit,
There's two things that I regret buying. The Decimus and the D3. And the
yeah,
D3 is not even that bad. It's just that the eVic VTC Mini is so much better. And the Decimus is garbage. So
yeah,
this was $100 I flushed down the toilet.
yeah. I think the only two products that I've had major problems with was the Evil Monk RDA. I don't know, just couldn't get a build to work on that at all. And I also bought the Tugboat version 1 mech mod, the tube, which was just dangerous and awful, and I never even used it.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You reminded me. I've got this tug with no MOSFET. So,
Yeah, you're boxed.
but you know what? You said regret though, and the truth is I don't actually regret this. I regret that it's
No.
not the one I want, but I can always take this out and reuse it. I can't fix the Decimus. It's garbage, and it's
Yeah.
always going to be garbage. So
You can just put a MOSFET in the tug and just use
yeah,
it.
yeah, I could. Yeah, exactly. I could take all the wires out, redo it. I mean, this is like a good box with a decent 510 now, right? You know.
Yeah.
So whatever, and it has a cool paint job.
The juice line. There's a question there for you, Juicy.
Oh yeah, swag sauce USA, and I think it's swag sauce USA. I was very confused. I had to send them an email for the reviews saying, hey, I'm not sure what website to tell people to buy your juice because AZ Swag Sauce goes to your eBay store. So it's Swag Sauce USA, and I like them. I've only tried 2 flavors, and Brandy Hollow Angel has also tried these guys. Just ordered it, but I ordered. They sent these to me for a review, and I'm filming it now. I'm just putting it in the can. Spoiler alert, I like them. Stifler's Mom is a strawberry milk, like a strawberry vanilla cream milk, and Sugar Skull is 100% Cinnabon. This is like you walked into a Cinnabon and someone stuffed it in your face. And I really like these, and I'm certain that they're full of diacetyl, but I don't care. I like them. So anyway, these two. I say yes, and I am ordering more of this. You saw me say it. I got a juice for free to review, and I'm ordering more. That is not very common.
I'm sure most people, but Juicy obviously had this issue happen to him. Alex said there is, in his opinion, there's no need for a MOSFET. Can you tell them what would have happened if you had a MOSFET, Juicy?
Yeah, if I had a MOSFET, I would not have almost killed myself. So that's not true. And the thing is, you never don't want a MOSFET, and the only time you don't is when you're in a mech mod that's a tube. And the thing is, I'm not trying to be provincial. It's just that with a box, too many things can go wrong, and it's very easy to look at things from a perfect world kind of way, where you're like, well, of course I know better. I'll never do that. But so do I. And you can have no doubt that I know what I'm doing. And then one day, let me just tell this story again. I tell it all the time because I'm proud of the learning that happened. One day, me, the experienced vapor, went to the doctor, and I had this box, and I was in the car vaping on it with my batteries in and a RDA. I think it was my Support. It was no problem, and it was a zero point 0.5 build or something. I was vaping. I went to the doctor. I took the batteries out in the car, put them in the seat in their case, and I put this thing in the thing. And then I came out of the doctor. I got bad news at the doctor. And then I came out of the doctor, sat down in my car, put the batteries in, drove, started vaping, and I looked down and nothing was happening, and the switch was smoking. And I went, fuck, I put the batteries in backwards. Yeah, I did. Because you don't always know when you're not going to be thinking fucking straight. You just don't know. You don't know when someone's going to come and tell you some seriously bad news, and you just might not be thinking straight. And so I had to stop my car and throw this thing behind a dumpster and let the batteries come out. And then I almost, it was a good thing I was using my best batteries, my HB2s, and they are pretty safe. And I'm hyper aware anyway. And when I saw smoke come out of the switch, I was like, something's wrong. I put my batteries in wrong, and I popped this open and saw it, and I was like, threw it down. And the batteries were starting to heat up beyond control. I had to stop my car and throw them out. So yeah, you can hurt yourself no matter how experienced you are.
Yeah, it's not even if you put your batteries in wrong. If that switch fails,
That's right.
the whole point of that MOSFET is so that it cuts off the connection. so that your batteries won't carry on venting.
Yeah, it'll absorb like 35 amps of power or whatever, and it'll keep you from, it'll save you from a critical failure, and that's what
Yeah.
you want. Um, so I disagree with that. I really think the MOSFET is necessary, but part of that is just pure safety. Another thing is that there's really no reason not to have a MOSFET. The voltage sag that comes from it is pretty minor, but there's no reason not to chase down mech boxes without them. Like we're big fans of
Yeah.
the noisy cricket and all that. It's just a matter of,
Yeah.
yeah, just
You
a matter of
can
being safe.
you can use them without, but it is just another safety precaution to have one.
And I think actually the noisy cricket is safer than this mod because the noisy cricket, in my mind it's easier to keep track of which positive and negatives you stick it in there. It's just me, and you probably wouldn't take the batteries out of the noisy cricket, probably. Oh, so anyway, Desperate Swag Sauce. So what's chat saying? Again, thank all the chat people. Thanks all the fans. We're sorry today's show didn't turn out to be like the super duper greatest one that we've ever had, but we love all you guys and we're just committed to not missing anything. And we'll have George and Lillian back on some other time. Don't forget, we're planning on a multi-part building series where we're going to do some battery safety, and then we're going to do some basic gear stuff, and then we're going to do some builds, and then we're going to do some advanced builds with dorks, and then in between we're going to have other episodes where we have different people come on and show some stuff, and it should be really fun.
Yeah, we've got some good stuff coming up. Obviously, the secret code G, and
Yeah.
we've also got a code name Peanut Butter.
That's right.
as
Project
well.
Peanut Butter's coming up. So we have at least two. So what was that? That's three pretty big things that are cool coming up in the next few months. And so we've been really humbled and gratified by the success of this show. And we're just really tiny. We're nobody. So we need you guys to help us share it. But if you like our shows, share it. And
we know you guys also like our DIY shows that we usually do. So we are going to be trying to do one a month. So next month we should have another one at some point.
It's
in that
almost
month.
time, right? Within the next 2 or 3 episodes, we should do one.
Yeah.
And everyone's talking in chat about how they tried Sugar Skull. People are still talking about AZ Swag Sauce for some reason. That stuff is they've like tripled their marketing in the last 3 months or so. So we're seeing it in front of us all over the place. And Vaping Coffee says our show is awesome, so thank you. And I'm with Jasper, a blueberry muffin. I'm working on a blueberry flavor for Orbital Vaping Headquarters to give away because we have Resting Bitch Face, and that's delicious, and we give that away. And we're looking for a blueberry one, and we're formulating, we're doing it, we're behind the scenes. So Alex Schultheis, great to see you. In fact, it's 9 o'clock. My girlfriend has a meeting here, so I have to get off the horn. It's been a super great show. Unless you have something else to add, Luke, just let's spend the next few minutes just vaping out here. What do you got to say, buddy?
Obviously, cheers for everybody that came on the chat. We didn't think it was going to maybe be as big, obviously doing it on a Friday, because obviously I'm travelling tomorrow. So thank you for all coming in the chat. And again, obviously this is 2016, so keep fighting for your right to vape. We are. What are we now? February. We're almost 3 months away from knowing 100% what's going to happen with our rules in the UK. Hopefully something will change, but probably not. So everybody in the UK, you need to get out there now, start buying RDAs and mods, because you're not going to be able to buy them in the shops.
And DIY gear.
So get buying now, so you've got your stuff set up and ready to keep on vaping.
And buy your DIY gear too. We got lists of everything you need for that. And for my part, I love all you guys. We have Vape AM on Tuesdays and Thursdays here on this channel. I don't want to say it again, but please like and subscribe and share. And we want to thank everybody who has helped us so much lately, like all of the other groups that we're in on Facebook. Make sure you join our group at Facebook Groups JuicyJones. But we're members of a lot of groups, and I love Vaping with Twisted 420's group. We love Veteran Vape Stars. That's Matt Jenkins' group. We love all those guys, and so all of you guys, thank you so much for all your support. And let's vape out.
Yes.
What do you think? First, let me find the button this time. Thank you.